sweetie. Did you finish your drink already? Careful. It might break. Now it'll only be a minute. Mommy just has to make sure that the cake is perfect. Let's see. There and there. Perfect. Oh, look at you. You're so adorable in your tiny footed pajamas. Happy birthday, sweetie. Wow, 2 years today. Oops. I think I know a little someone who's ready for some cake. Chugga 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 choo choo. Here it comes through the tunnel. Choo choo. I'll be right back. What are you doing? No! Hey, you. Look what I found. I wonder what it is. Why don't we go upstairs and find out? Oh my, how much cake did you have? Here we are. Now let's see what's inside. Maybe it's a new toy. Okay, sweetie. Be a dear and play for a bit. Mommy will be right back.
The playpen was actually quite a different thing because we wanted people to make sure that they were careful with the baby. So we placed the pillow underneath so when he fell down, you wouldn't feel like you were harming the kids.
And also the whole playpen's role is to introduce the player to all the mechanics of crawling and climbing and moving objects. So we wanted to do something like this where the player is the goal is the present, and the player will hopefully want to get the present, and you can see it. That's why it's framed like it is when you get put down in the playpen, and then you have to just learn how to do the mechanics. An important aspect of Among the Sleep was to really make the players feel like they actually were the child character, especially in the characters' animations and movement, so that it was believable, and to make the child character feel very frail and fragile, so that in scary and tense situations it will become even a lot more terrifying just knowing that you are such a vulnerable character. This posed for some interesting design challenges.
Hey, you found me. My name is Teddy. Nice to meet you. Hey, what's your name? Not much of a talker yet, eh? Let's play a game. I know. I'll hide the pink elephant while you're not looking. Come here. Turn around and cover your eyes. There. You can look now. Cooler.
Well, it's kind of fun, but after we really enjoyed the name PewDiePie gave to the elephant plush, and we actually have named it that in the game, or in the game engine as well. So his name is officially Gandalf.
He has a name tag too, doesn't he?
Warmer.
I think he might have.
Yeah. He has a name tag on the back leg and
Cooler.
because he fell through the floor or something. So PewDiePie was like, "No, Gandalf, no." So I think the first thing the day after PewDiePie played through the alpha of this was kind of the first issue we had to take. Like, why did Gandalf fall to the floor? So already there, you kind of, oh, this is beautiful.
Quite cold over there. Warmer. Pretty warm. Cooler. You found it. Wow. Is that a music box? Does it work?
Which things in-game right now are you proud of?
I just want to say, as a whole, are at least like maybe the characters,
That's a nice melody.
Teddy especially. The first time you unlock that chest and you meet the character and Roger Jackson's voice starts talking, and you feel like you're in this living world, and I think that might be one of my favorite moments of the game currently.
What's this? Five thirsty animals upon a dry, dry hill. We could use a drink, they sang, and started to drill. Unless we reach water with our newly dug well, I think we'll have to bid each other fare thee well. Oh! Does it run? How do you start it? Round and round and round. Hey, Pick me up and carry me on your back. I want to show you something. We need someplace very dark. How about your closet? It has to be dark.
This is really crucial what
Shut
she
the
says there.
doors completely.
Because your mother will berate you kind of playfully, saying like, why are you always hiding from mommy? That's a little hint.
It has to be
that,
darker.
you know, that something
the
is wrong
doors
with her, but it's
completely.
said playfully, so yeah. So we kind of wanted it to.
This will do
Once you play it
nicely.
again, maybe you'll see this as like a more serious thing than it is.
I
But
hope
it's so
there are no
important because
monsters in
for the
here.
ending to showcase that the mother actually is, you know, very loving. So
If you
still
ever
needed to
feel
make her
scared
a very
in a dark
important
place
and
like
warm
this,
figure.
And
you can hug
the main thing we
me
wanted to do
tightly.
in
It
this
might be a little bit safer.
the first level here was to make the
We're
player
supposed to be here. We must be
feel
careful.
something for the mother,
Like
because the
this.
mother, she is the main objective of the game. You want to get back to her, and that won't have any weight behind it at all if the player doesn't have any kind of relationship to her. So that was pretty hard to do. It still could have gone a little further, I think, but at least now after this sequence the player will recognize the mother when he sees her, and you will know it's your mother,
I
and
think something's
that
coming.
at least but most people have
There
relationships
you
to
are.
the mother.
What are you doing in the closet? Oh, are you playing with your new friend? Hello, Mr. Bear. Nice to meet you. How are you today? You've got to stop hiding from Mommy. I hope you had a good birthday, hun. Mommy would be very sad if you didn't. And now it's time for bed. If you go to sleep now, you can wake up early tomorrow and play with your friend all day. Every little boy and girl are sleeping now, all over the world. And they're waiting just for you. We shouldn't keep them. Good night, hun. Sweet dreams.
if you look in the hallway when you go into the hallway, I love the lighting here. How it sort of frames it really well. Like the lighting is so good at times that it hides a lot of things around it, and what it shows, like it sets the mood really well. I remember we were at GDC showing it, and I think there were some people coming from a couple of big studios to study how the lighting actually was in the game. Do you guys remember who? There was someone.
DreamWorks.
DreamWorks.
Lady
Yeah.
from DreamWorks.
That's so cool. Like they came out to check out how the lighting worked in our game, and they were interested, and they were like, yeah. And you can clearly see it some places. That's like the first hallway for me always does it when the light goes off after you've been thrown out.
Thank you. Something's not right. We need to find your mother.
I must just say I love the sound of the gate here. It sounds almost like a lion or a tiger or something like that. It's perfect as it just emphasizes the way when scared you can put character into small things like a door creak. I remember I did, that was early on in development, I did an event when you got down the stairs in the house, and earlier we had a door that you got framed really well as you walked down the stairs, and that door was just a plain old wooden door before, and I added like frosty glass on the door and a small shadow behind the creature that is in the house. I added that one behind for a small movement. And first time I tested that event on somebody, and it worked as well as I could have ever imagined. That was a perfect moment for me. Sadly, the entire level got redesigned, so the event had to go. But it was a great moment, and I learned a lot about subtlety and horror.
Also, this event with the apples, I'm also really fond of. Just the hearing sound and seeing something physical and moving just makes the physical presence of whatever dangerous thing is in the house just feel a lot more real and a lot scarier.
I think also this was what people saw in the trailer, the teaser, the first thing that got really famous. So I think in many ways for a lot of people this was the game for 2 years until they started playing it. And that was also interesting when we worked with the game. to know that this is the expectations. Like this is defined as what people know the game is. So I think we always kind of try to figure out how can we work on the game, what is the game, and what will people expect. How can we work with that? It was definitely an interesting thing about working with putting sounds in and probably designing everything. Is we had this sort of thing as the not status quo, but as a defining level.
The reason for this room being so dark is that we wanted to include some rooms where the player would have to use the teddy light mechanic in order to see, because the teddy light is a really good ability in terms of what it means to just that Teddy is the child's best friend and it makes him feel a bit safer. So we made sure to introduce a couple areas in the game that are so dark that you would have to use the teddy light. And of course it's also scary. So you peek through the door and you see the duvet or the covers moving, and with this we just wanted the players to think that the mother was is lying in the bed, so that when you get over there to and you climb the bed and you pull the covers away, you see that she's not here. And then this is also Teddy's reaction, going, what? She's not here? And then you have a scary event where you can see the door handle being jerked, and it looks like as if someone's trying to get into the room, which is just a representation of the child's distress of being alone and just not knowing where the mother is.
Yeah, having the player backtrack is always an issue, as you have to make the player understand that he's supposed to go back the way he came. So you need this kind of carrot in the end of it. So here we have the player following his mother's voice that you can hear in the distance.
I love her song
It's
too.
her.
This is Trollmor
Hey!
Sykevise, which
Hello?
is a Swedish song, but basically it's
Look at Mommy's
all Scandinavian.
necklace.
Everyone in
Can you see
Scandinavia
our
has heard this at
reflection?
some point of a
It's
childhood,
you
so
and me.
this is sort of, I guess, one of our things to kind of keep it a bit localized and
I
representative
guess she
of our
can't
culture.
hear us.
I think
She
a lot of the
seems
design
so
of the house is
distant.
also thought
Maybe
of
it's
like
more like
to keep
a
kind of
memory
inspiration
of
by
her?
how kind of we saw things when we were kids. So there's no cell phones, you know. It's quite timeless, the design. It's nothing pointing. There's not too much pointing to a specific era.
Are you all right?
So now we have entered the what we call the hub level.
What is this
This
place?
is the level that you visit every time that you finish the chapters of Among the Sleep. And here
Playhouse?
we
What's
wanted
that doing
to
here?
really show the world when it starts crossing over to the more surreal. So you have a floating island of
Is it locked?
rock and
I
some
might be able
pipes.
to open it from the inside
Um,
if you help me up.
Floating in the void.
Yeah, floating in the void in the middle of nothing, and then you come to this warm and nice playhouse. So it has this introduces the surreal aspect, the more dreamlike aspect of the game.
Whoa, look at this place. Listen. There it is again. It sounds like it's coming from behind this door. There must be a way to open it. It seems like these are connected somehow. Maybe it requires some sort of key. Is there anything we can use? Buttons. What happened? Why didn't it open? Maybe we have to press both at the same time. That's it. It seems like the memory you shared unlocked the door. Maybe if we can find more memories like this, it might bring us to her. It looks like we need 3 more.
In this small area, after you open the door in the hub, you can see, you can get a sort of a small taste of what.
Where are we?
You know what I like best about this level is that what I hate the most is the first thing you see, which is a xylophone. I really don't like that. But
It is a bit cool though, as it's a xylophone bridge later, or it's a reference to a thing that comes later in the same chapter.
oh yeah, but okay, yeah, it's true. Well, it makes a funny sound. That's true.
Oh, how come you don't like the?
Because I don't like the sound.
Oh, I think it's awesome. Just the like we talked about earlier, that the game is so heavily based on physics. It's definitely been a challenge to make it, and it's caused several problems. But it also just gives a really good physical feel of the whole of the whole game, and just being able to throw an object like this, the xylophone, and hear the sound as it just hits the ground and bounces. I think it's really good.
Well, I really like the cave level because, like, it's just an enormous cave.
Whoa.
And the lighting
Over
is
there.
fantastic. I think,
It looks like another
especially when you
memory
enter
across
the big
that
cave
bridge.
room. You can see so much, like geometry and buildings and stuff, and the lighting is just perfect. I think.
Is there a way up this tower?
I'm just really proud or pleased with the transition when you enter the shed, pick up the owl, and you feel so trapped and abandoned and just alone. And the shift in atmosphere there is super effective, I think. And I love that moment. Do you guys remember how many times or how bad the wires or rope sticks bugged out? I think that ropes have gone through, yeah, 5-6 iterations of using different systems and making systems ourselves, and just trying it to get to behave properly. And I guess the final version here is quite subtle and works quite well, but it's just
totally worth it.
yeah, totally worth it. It's just a minor detail that
Yeah.
makes the entire game worth playing, right?
I think we spent about 1 year to get the rope physics right.
Good thing we use it everywhere in the game.
That's kind of a thing that when you develop a game and you don't know what you're doing, you end up spending so much time trying out stuff, and it's really healthy. And of course you need to experiment, but after a while you kind of I think everyone lost a lot of their killed their darlings basically because it didn't work in the end, or it didn't fit with the overall narrative or anything. But that's definitely something interesting we learned from developing this game. It's just so many things you need to try out to make a game, and so many things that probably won't make it.
We're trapped! This place creeps me out. I hope your mother is okay.
here's a bridge tied to sort of the imagination field aesthetic. So it sort of exists as a part of extension of the imagination area.
Yes, and we wanted to do this to highlight the bridge, and just to make the players realize that when they get to the top of the tower, they are getting really close to
it's time
getting the imagination object, which is what they have been searching for the whole time.
Oh, finally. We must be getting closer. We made it back. We have to find a way to safety. Find a way out of this mess. She must be so worried about you. But don't be afraid. You and me will work this all out together. Yes, she sounds clearer now, don't you think? Come on, we have no time to lose.